Hello. I'm not waiting very long to get started here. So I decided I wanted to stream Guild Wars 1 again. But more than that, boy, it's been a while. It's been almost like a year since my last stream. So at the end of my last time streaming, my computer died. Or more accurately, my graphics card died. So I have not streamed in quite some time. I've gotten a new computer in the interim. But right now, Guild Wars 1, super cheap on Steam. They're having a sale. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to get a second account. So I have. And this account has no characters, because I haven't made any yet. I'm going to have to figure out a character name pretty soon. But I want to unlock all skills. And I think it'd be fun to stream that. So maybe I'll do some streams again. No idea if anybody's going to show up, but if they do, it'll be exciting. And of course, the VOD will be up on my YouTube channel. So yeah, this is going to be a role-playing character. So I've been thinking about this some. So I believe I have 8 character slots. So there are 2 professions, obviously, that I won't be making. Probably Ritualist and Paragon. Those are my 2 least favorite. We're going to start in Prophecies, of course, for several reasons, one of which is Prophecies gets a lot of skills unlocked. And I think I'm just going to start with the good old whammo. Hairstyle. An important choice. It's interesting. Modern game character customization, a lot of the time, has a bajillion sliders. So this is, in many regards, a lot faster than that. What's a face that I like? That one's good. I think I like that one. I like the set of the eyes a little bit better for some reason. I wish I could be doing this with the actual Prophecies start screen, but here we are. That's Farracapo, and that's Devona. I want some length here. I think I have that one on Lillian, like very similar to that on my main account. This one's fun just because you have the tassels that dingle. I remember having hairstyle like this actually during the Factions preview weekend. I have no idea if audio is balanced well. I think I should probably be okay. But I think I'm going to go with that one. No, I'm feeling that. Okay. Let's go over here. Yeah, that'll work. Purple is the correct color. Let's go with short. Now, I'm going to be curious to see is what settings are going to carry over because it's the same install, just a different login. And what stuff am I going to have to go through and change button settings and such. But we will see that later. Okay, and then this is the really hard part. A name. And with how many characters must exist, names can be rather tricky to locate. The other thing that I'm having to ask myself is if there's any sort of name scheme I want to try to use in this, and I don't know. I have an elementalist in Guild Wars 2 called Anna Yggdrasil, but I don't know that I want to use that necessarily. So what do I want to do for a name? I think... Hey! Yeah, it does. Hey, Hawk. Good to see ya. Fresh account got that new car smell. It's got that. I'm not even sure what the smell's going to be yet. I think of cracking open a booster pack of Magic. That new car smell. So I really like the name Sophelia, which is a combination of Sophia and Philia. It's like philosophy is love of wisdom, except it's kind of mashing that up. So maybe all of these characters will be Sophelias. But I don't know what to go with for a last name just yet. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be very interesting. Of like, oh, what things am I going to be used to having access to that I won't? I'll eventually get this one into my guild and all that, but it's not... Pre-searing is not a time where you're worrying about your guild much. I don't know. Let's go with Ash for Axe, Sword, Hammer. Sophelia Ash, that's what we'll go with. Yeah. Oh, I love this cutscene so much.
The last day dawns on the kingdom of Ascalon. It arrives with no fanfare, no tolling of alarms. Those who will remember will speak fondly of the warm morning breeze. People carry on with their daily lives, unaware that in a short while, everything they have ever known will come to an end.
Scribe? Yes, my lord. These Char are relentless, but we shall hold the wall at all costs. Yes, my lord. Take this message to Sir Titus. Go forth and recruit the strongest, the smartest. Bring to me the bravest in all of Ascalon. Find me the heroes who will lead our kingdom to glory. As you command, my king.
Okay, good to know. It's probably coming from my microphone. I'll lower my volume on my end. See if that helps. And then it's this bit with a weird camera motion right at the end. I think what's happening there is I think the game is not accounting for... Whoa, okay. I can tell you right now, I'm going to have to spend the first moment with settings. Okay, let's see. Double click to attack, interact. Disable mouse walking. No, I like mouse walking. I just don't. Okay. What of these do I even use? In-game clock. Local time. Sure. No filter. English. That, yes. Okay. There, now when I randomly click places, it won't walk, but if I do that, I can go talk to the crier. I know, it's like the ultimate nostalgia. My audio settings, I think, were more or less the same. Okay. Strafe left. Z, strafe right. X. Remove that. Remove that. Turn left should just be left arrow. I've had my same set of controls for friggin' ever, so... Assign that. Move backwards. Assign that. Not S. Not R. Move forward. Remove W from that. Reverse direction is not a useful button. No, I don't need. We're getting a little. I think I signed that to Q, W, E. Minion list, not that. This. Wait, mission map is U. That is correct. Observe options is F11. E for party. Pet commander. I don't think I have a button that I assign that to normally. Ally nearest. Foe nearest C. Yeah, that's fine. Item nearest. I think I had next is our previous as T. Select priority target. I think I had that to Y. Self should be F. Okay. Interface. Oh my goodness, everything's wrong. Okay, not everything, but this can go down here. Chat there is good. Damage monitor down maybe a little bit. That stuff is mostly fine. Okay, that's a weird spot for in-game clock. Let's put that up there. Compass, I like having here, I think. Maybe not quite that big. Something like that. Is that what I did with my interface? I don't friggin' remember. Something like that, maybe? Oh, man. Ah. Yes, I know. I have no skills right now. Thank you. Oh, hints are on. Let's leave hints on because you know what? I haven't seen those in friggin' ages, and I'm curious. Is that where I have the compass? I think that's where I normally have the compass. Do I normally have... Hang on. I think I might normally have the weapon bar over and the compass down a little bit further. I literally do not remember how I've normally arranged my screen. I think it's something like this. Oh, you know what? I have this up here. And maybe target down just a little bit. Yeah, something kind of like that, maybe. Effects monitor is up there, yeah. Okay. I don't know. We're going to roll with that. It feels like something's off somewhere, and I can't quite explain what or why. Although, no, not wiki. Nope. Yeah, inventory. Weapon sets. All weapon sets on. There. That off. Excuse me, you're Sophia Ash, aren't you? I think Sir Titus was looking for you. He said he had some good news for you. I like good news. So I'm not going to try to do any sort of LDOA stuff or anything like that, but I am absolutely... Okay, that's interesting. Is that a graphics option? What is that option? I don't know. There, that's what I don't want. And I don't want concise skill descriptions. Yes, I like the item rarity border. Or do I do this? Oh, I'm full of all of the questions. Also, controls, I just remembered. I need... Where's the flags? Because this should be A S D and command party is end. Oh man, I'm like absolutely confused on what I've set my settings to on my main account. And I'm like, what is everything? There you are, my friend. I'm glad you are here. I have news that I think you'll appreciate. I've been looking for you everywhere, Sophelia Ash. The king has ordered a new offensive against the Char. This is your chance for glory and adventure, but you'll need to know more about your craft before going north of the wall. Tell you what, travel to the southwest gate, which will take you to Lakeside County. I'll have Van the Warrior waiting for you outside. He can show you a trick or two. Oh man, it's a Salty Grease! Hello and welcome, Salty Grease. I know, it's been absolute ages, can you believe? Also, we're in District 2 of pre-searing, if anybody's wondering why it looks so empty. If anybody wants a new account, now's a great time. The trilogy on Steam is $7.50, and Eye of the North is $5. So you can get the whole thing for under 15 USD, which is a pretty steaming good deal, if you ask me. Screaming good? I don't know. It's a really good deal, if you ask me. So that's what I'm deciding to do with the rest of my Thanksgiving. Baron Egan. A group of bandits has been terrorizing Lakeside recently. They've grown so bold that they ambushed a royal tax collector and stole a chest full of gold. That gold is vital to our war effort against the Char and must be recovered. You look like you could give those bandits a good thrashing. Will you recover the stolen chest and then return it to Devona and Ashford for me? You can count on me. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. Hello, Sir Bojangles. Oh, man. There's something about playing through Ascalon in particular. It has just this enormous soft spot in my heart that, like, nothing else can quite, like, it's just that very special first time place sort of thing, you know? Hi, Sin. How are you doing? Can't be bothered right now? You're waiting for her father. I don't know if we really ever hear much about her father. It takes a long time to get LDOA. Even, like, it's way better than it used to be. But even then, it still just takes quite some time. Oh man, this account's not going to have access to some of the things I'm used to having from my main. But that's okay. / bonus. Alas, I'm behind on my rent. And my landlord, Gelson, has run out of patience with me. Boy, too real, eh? For some people. I fear I will be put out of my home. I'll understand if you'd rather not help a Crichton. Our nations were at war a long time, but I'm not your enemy, and I could really use some assistance. My friend, Miller Upton, lives to the southwest. I know he'll help me if I can get a message to him. If you're going that way, could you tell him of my plight? Certainly, how could I refuse? Okay, you know what it's time for, everyone? It's time for the dubious decision of the very first warrior skills you get, being Frenzy and Healing Signet. Oh yeah. Also, we're going to just employ the always hide option for our headpiece. Oh man, when you adventure outside of town, you get your own private copy of the world. To play with a friend, simply form a party together before leaving town. Exciting. All right, Sophelia Ash, I was asked to see to it you learned what it means to be a warrior. You've heard the stories, no doubt. Warriors are impossible to kill. They are capable of incredible feats of endurance, and they are deadly in close combat. Listen to what I have to say, and you just might learn how to accomplish all these feats and more. Actually, that's what they say about assassins, I'm sorry to say. To review information about any quests you might have, click on the menu button and then select the quest log option. I prefer L, and I prefer my L to be over here. Thank you very much. When you select a quest in the quest log with a specific goal or destination, a green star will appear on your compass, indicating its position. If the goal is not on the compass, a green arrow will indicate its general direction. I have not read these hints, by the way, in probably 15 plus years. So it's very strange seeing them again. Okay. I have a little challenge in mind to prepare you for what it's like to be a warrior. Live through this, and you'll be you're well on your way. A horde of scale has appeared at the river. Get down there and take care of them, and I mean all of them. When you finish, report back to me. Yes, sir. Hey, Gwen. What do you gotta say? Ah, man. Oh, I left my flute by the river, but there are lots of scary monsters there now. I don't know what to do. Can you maybe go and kill them and bring my flute back? Sure, I can do that. Thank you. I can't wait. I know you'll find it. I want to be an adventurer too. Can I come with you? Yes, Gwen, but not now. You can come with me later. Good old level 0, 50, or level 0 river scale tabs. Is that the same? No. Ashford is... No, that maybe? I'm trying to decide if the waterfalls I'm seeing in the distance there are the Ashford or the waterfalls by Ashford or not. Wow, getting 25 experience for level 0 scale. Oh man, and hard apple cider. Oh man, and it automatically opened my inventory, and inventory's in a weird spot. I feel... Okay, is there like a... interface size? Do I normally have it on large? I think I am so confused. I have no idea what size I normally have my interface at. Everything's feeling weird. Help. Okay, let's go grab this flute. Ooh. And this hidden stash. Over there is the arena where sometimes you'd... Yeah, there is. Have PvP matches on leaving Pre-Searing Ascalon, but I don't think those have been working for a very long time. How far over here can I go, though? Yeah, on the interface tab, I can like rearrange everything. I'm just like, everything's is weird and in a strange spot, and it's disorienting me. This feels too thick. I'm gonna make that slightly thinner. I don't know, whatever. It's gonna live there now. Because all of that UI stuff is like per account basis, so it's like reloading all of that. You can get really far over here. Like, again, you used to have PvP matches take place over there upon leaving pre-searing. Because the PvE was designed to be a tutorial for the PvP, which was the intended endgame initially. There was, in the most recent... Extra Life charity event, Colin Johansson and Bobby Stein spent a bunch of time talking about Guild Wars 1 stuff, and they were open about a lot of things. It was really interesting in that... hey, Gwen. Thanks for finding my flute. Oh no, it's broken. Now I'm going to have to get a new one. Can I follow you? Yes, you may follow me, Gwen. But one of the things that really stood out to me from that is they're open about how much of a process... this is supposed to be centered. You've just obtained a new weapon. Open your inventory by clicking on the menu button and then selecting the inventory option. Double-click on the weapons to equip it. Wow, this is very weird, not having anything else in here. Hello, Kage-ryu. Good to see you. But they were talking about how prophecies ship, and then they were like, cool, now what? And just how much they've been flying by the seat of their pants. It's, it was an interesting thing. I don't want to try to quote it too much because it was a while ago now, and I don't remember all the details, but it basically confirmed a lot of my suspicions about things, and that was really interesting. Hey, Van. Finally finished off all of the scale, did you? Well, it took you long enough. Sorry, I went sightseeing. But I've seen worse. Someday, with the right training, you may make something of yourself. I'll start by giving you a couple of skills. I'm headed back to town, but I suspect Haversdan will arrive shortly to advise you about what to do next. Thank you. You didn't used to be able to rearrange skills out of combat, but now you can. Skill unlocked! I haven't seen this interface in freaking ever. So that's exciting. Spicy new account. Unlocking skills. Our first 2 skills unlocked out of, I don't know, quite a lot. Okay, Haversdan. You're the warrior Sir Titus was telling me about, aren't you? Well, I imagine he's right that you've got potential, but potential won't save you from a char firestorm. Experience will. Yeah, like not standing in the firestorm. I suggest you head southwest to Ashford and talk to Devona. She's bound to have a task or two for you. Thank you. Out of either not enough or way too many skills. Depends on how you look at it. Yeah. Lovely, isn't she? I don't know why Captain Osric has a thing. As lovely as the day is long. You're a lucky man, Your Highness. Aye, that I am. And what of the blessed event? Have you set a date? No, but I've got a more pressing problem, believe it or not. What is it, my prince? It's Althea's birthday tomorrow, and I haven't a gift for her. I've searched the shops, the treasure room. I need something utterly unique and breathtaking, like Althea. Don't give it another thought, Your Highness. Leave it to me. You've served me well in trying times, Osric, and for that you have my respect. If you can do this thing for me, you have my undying gratitude as well. Are you playing some Guild Wars 2, Kage, Ryu? Should I just call you Shadow, or Kage, or Ryu, or... I have a very important mission for you, Sophia Ash. The prince's love, Althea, will celebrate her birthday tomorrow. The prince has charged me with finding the perfect gift, one that is as unique and beautiful as Althea herself. What do you say? Can you help me? I think I can handle that. Alright. Hey, Lady Althea. We ain't gonna do that right now, but... I believe you can bring, like, one of the gifts to her. I have been playing Guild Wars 2. It turns out, they've done a lot to address a lot of the issues that I have with the game in the expansions. Totally different game. Gotcha. So I have been playing Guild Wars 2. This is probably... Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, that was a mistake. Well, there's our first death. But yeah, Guild Wars 2 has done a lot in the expansions to, like, Path of Fire onwards, to address a lot of the problems that I have with, like, core is still, like, weak, in my opinion. I'm going to walk down this road, because this road is full of nostalgia for me. I always think of, like, pre-string music in the autumn. Used to play the first back in a couple years ago. Interesting. But yeah, I hear pre-steering music during the autumn, and it's all just like so nostalgic. I was hurt a while ago. Thank you, Hint. Yeah. Tip: in this part of the game, the maximum party size is 2 players. As you progress through the world, the maximum party size will gradually increase. Thanks for the tip. Normally, I'm using /bonus to get myself a bunch of weapons and stuff, but I'm not doing that. I do have some bonus stuff, but... I don't have my Glacial Blade, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why chat was popping up there. Actually, can I afford anything off this? Why is this small? I can buy a new flute for Gwen, and I can get a cheap starter, a free starter shield. I don't need those. I guess I could have used the tribal blade, but... Interesting. Oh, right. I can't use the starter shield. I do want to become a monk. I'm going to whammo. Greetings, my child. Can I help you today, or are you here to offer your services to those in need? It's really weird to think of Brother Menlo saying my child when, like, how old is he supposed to be here? Like, 19, 20? He's fairly young at this point in the story, I'm sure. So it's very weird to have him phrase things this way. Like, I don't know. The vibes of everything kind of changes over time as they figure out what they're doing. And my party window looks weird. Narrow. All this UI stuff that's like, I'm used to the way that I have it on my main account, and it's different here, and it's throwing me off. One of the tasks my messengers have been given is collecting the rare elements in Ascalon for study here at the Abbey. My young friend Paulus thinks he has discovered such a treasure in one of the flooded areas of the catacombs, but he cannot reach it on his own. Paulus, you see, is a smiting monk, and not very adept at healing magic, and the waters in that area of the catacombs are full of disease. I will grant you a simple healing spell. Meet Paulus outside the catacombs, and he will show you where the trouble is. Return to me when Paulus has successfully retrieved the artifact. Show me the light. I also... Oh, this unlocks skills. Interesting. Also gave me Bane Signet. Yeah, he is clearly only a brother. I mean, so this is like one of the challenges in video games is like handling religion. And I feel like a lot of video games really struggle to handle religion well. Not sure I would say, like, why do they call their monks brothers or whatever? Like, there's very specific reasons for that sort of language in Christianity, and a lot of, because that's the religion a lot of Western developers are familiar with, you get a lot of that sort of persisting, whereas, like, a lot of Eastern developers will use different constructs, for example, for Buddhism or Shintoism or whatever. Oh, right. I am a warrior. Hey, I'm glad Brother Menlo sent you to help. We must hurry. Says Paulus the Abbot. But it just feels correct to make a whammo as the first character. Oh, I should have done Rites of Remembrance at the same time to bundle things. You know what? That's okay. We can drag Priest-Steering out a little bit. There's a mural to Melandru. I actually have copies of all of the God mural arts. I have no idea where I got them, but I have them. And if you're interested, I put them on my Discord. Wow, 1 pip of health degen feels aggressive when I have like no HP. That's funny. I haven't watched JoJo's. That's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or whatever, right? I've gotten positive vibes from people about it. Oh my goodness, this Orison is such garbage. It'll never be good on this character. It's barely good on a primary monk. Here we are. Are you ready? There's Dwayna. Everybody's favorite goddess of light and air and life. I have no attribute points. You can kill foes faster using skills. Use Bane Signet to damage your foe. I don't know what your timing with that hint is supposed to be, game, but thanks, I guess. Press the L key and open the quest log window, or to open it. After clicking on a quest in the quest log, you can follow the green arrow in the compass to your destination. Boy, these hints sure do exist. Like, I don't need them because I know how to play the game because I've been playing it for the past 18 years or whatever. In the West, they have to be careful of how to portray Christianity since it's practiced more commonly. In the East, it's more just a fun theme. They use inspiration like mythology. Yeah, that's also a thing that's true. The problem that I have is, like, and, like, as a religious person, it's not because I find it insulting to my religion. It's as a world builder, I find it insulting to world building, is when they just copy Christian stuff without thinking about the broader ramifications or like why it's done. So it's like, if you're going to use a cross as a generic religious symbol, I feel like you're really letting down your own world building, because like the cross is a specific religious symbol in Christianity because of its significance and meaning to that religion. If you're not doing something similar of making a cross a significant religious symbol, you're just using a generic religious symbol, you're underbaking your world building. And that bothers me because world building is really important to me. And that sort of like shorthand of like, oh, we're just going to copy and paste some real world religious stuff without thinking about why it's there is, it feels lazy on the world building part, and I think it undermines the world building. I'm glad Brother Menlo sent you to help. We must hurry, he says. Okay, I can return to Brother Menlo for my reward. Okay, is there a way I can get that to not be popping up all the time and have that default? I have no idea. You know what? I just have no idea. Evangelion is pretty much entirely themed on Christianity, but is used entirely as a motif, and they didn't really mean it to have any sort of religious meaning. Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's the same sort of thing that we do with in the West with like Shintoism or Hindu, or especially like Greco-Roman religions. We use those as, in like Norse and stuff, we use those as inspiration and motifs all the time, right? Without any sort of greater religious meaning to it. You've done quite well for your first task. Paulus reports his findings are most promising, and I think you might have great promise as well to advance among monks. You've shown you could be a good monk. Taking monk as a sanguinary profession will give you access to all monk skills and allow you to train in healing prayers, protection prayers, and smiting prayers, but you must still bear the armor of your primary profession, which is really significant, actually. Your armor is what dictates your... Like, warriors don't get any bonus maximum energy or energy regeneration, but that's on armor, right? If you were to strip any class, they would have 20 energy with 2 pips of regen. I would like to become a monk. So this character is going to be a whammo. I'm probably going to do a Necro Elementalist for one of them. And like... Or maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking about like how can I run characters through prophecies where I'm getting minimum overlap, but I'm gonna make one of 8 of the professions, skipping Writ and Paragon, so whatever. You have shown you could, yes, I already read this, but you must still bear the armor of your primary profession. Then I was talking about armor. Once you make this commitment, you will not be able to change your mind until significantly later in the game, but we're trying to keep up the fiction that you normally can't change your secondary profession, because that's something that doesn't happen to normal people. But we're not a normal person. We get to ascend and all sorts of stuff. We're chosen. I think it's really interesting. I've talked about this in the slow playthrough, like that I did like 3 years ago or whatever that was. But I think it's really interesting that they present this fiction, right? It's a weird way of presenting, like tying world building and mechanics together, where like they kind of get more siloed later on. I don't know, it's interesting. Tip, if you focus on completing quests and missions, you can level up faster than you would from just hunting monsters. That's true, especially in Factions of Nightfall. Do I want to make this commitment? Yes, I'm ready to become a monk. Congratulations, you have 2 professions. May the gods illuminate your way. And then you gave me these skills for realsies, and they are awkwardly placed. The Blessings of Balthazar. Most who choose the ways of light do so because they're called by Dwayna to heal and protect others. We monks, however, must also learn when to call on Balthazar. Smiting prayers allow us to cause damage to our enemies, especially the vile undead, which brings me to our problem. Some skeletons escaped from the catacombs in the night and are harrying the fields north of Ashford. Use smiting prayers to destroy the skeletons, then return to me. As you wish. Man, the skill icon is just... I wish that the actual skill did anything. Or like, in terms of a skill effect. It's not a great skill either, but... It's interesting. I'm playing through Path of Fire. I've been doing a playthrough because I got all of the Living World seasons, so I've been doing a playthrough of those after I got the expansions for Guild Wars 2 and wanting to see those. And hey, Gwen. Anyway, to try to make a long story short, I feel like the Smiting Monk aspect of Balthazar is kind of forgotten. Hey, I leveled up. I will figure out where I want to allocate attributes later, though. Thanks. Treble Blade. Okay, that's definitely better than my random sword. Can I have that shiny new flute? It's so beautiful. I bet it plays pretty music. Well, I mean, only if you are any good at playing a flute, which you are. I don't know how well you can hear her over the sounds of everything else going on in the game, but she is playing the flute right now. Okay, what is this? 3 to 5. Is this 4 to 6? I'm going to swap over to that. You have a faster attack rate, but I also get this shield, which gives me a little bit of armor. So that seems favorable. Okay, these guys are doing enough damage that I feel like I'm legit going to get some use out of Retribution. I don't know. I'm getting 100 experience from some of these enemies. That seems pretty good. Plague Worm. Oh my goodness. You're so weak at the start. Arms like wet noodles. Okay, I grant you it would help if I allocated towards anything. I don't know. I'm going to spec into Smiting Prayers and Tactics and Swordsmanship. Yeah. It's definitely a different pace. Hey, Allison. Little Tom has ordered a bearskin cloak, but I don't have a good bear pelt from which to make it. If you can find me a pelt, Little Tom will make it worth your while. Southwest of Ashford is a place called Wizard's Folly. I understand bear hunting is good down there. What do you say? Sounds like a challenge, but I think I can handle it. Let's grab this beautiful feather. Maybe. There we go. You know what? You know what I want to do? I want to just look around for a moment. I like that we always have favor in Pursuing Ascalon. Hey, Moa. Actually, that's a Strider. Hey, Devona. How you doing? Watch your health bar carefully before using Healing Signet. You are especially vulnerable to attacks while using this skill. Wow, that's a lot of really custom hint dialogue. I'm glad you've come. I can't seem to shake the feeling that there's trouble on the horizon, and I'd be glad to have your help if and when it arrives. In the meantime, there are plenty of people here who need assistance with one thing or another, and I'm sure you'll find the lessons you learn here will be invaluable in the future. Your blessing will remain active as long as you stay within range of the recipient, but maintaining the spell will cause your energy to regenerate more slowly. Yes, so they're calling this my blessing, eh? It's maintain enchantment, but... Retribution will remain in effect as long as you like, but you will gain energy more slowly while you maintain it. Yes, that is literally the same hint you just gave me. I've heard talk among the townsfolk of unsettling rumors coming from Mirak the scribe. Instead of babbling to random strangers, he ought to send word to the authorities if he's come across something truly important, but I'm sure he's too engrossed in his books to think of anything practical like that. My duties in town... It's really interesting that Mirak has a pivot from, like, bookworm academic to street preacher. Anyway. I missed that hint because I was too busy talking about other things, but that's okay. My duties in town... anybody watching the VOD can pause it and read it themselves. My duties in town keep me from looking into this matter myself, but how is... You know what? It's the fiction. We'll roll with it. But if you go to Ashford Abbey to the north and ask him about it, I'd appreciate it. It's north? I guess it's kind of north. It's kind of northwest. Hi, Pitney. Ah, these worms will be the death of me. They have driven me off my farm. Doesn't matter how many I kill, as long as there's a queen worm, or we'll be back the next day. Here's what I'm thinking. Worms love devour eggs, right? Can you get a devour egg from Faden Hathorn for me? I'll use it to lure the queen into the open, and then you can squash her like the bug she is. I've always liked this shield skin. I'd like them to bring it back into Guild Wars 2. I don't know if it is or not, but I'd like it to be. Hello, Miller Upton. All day long, we turn the stone and grind the wheat. Just turn the stone and grind the wheat. Just once, I'd like there to be a little excitement in my life. So, what is it you want? I'm sorry, I really can't worry about helping Nimar until I get rid of these damnable bees. Think you can give me a hand? Take one of the honeycombs lying on the ground and use it to lure the bees across the bridge. If you lure those 3 swarms of bees away, I'll be able to think straight again. This is weird in that it can be buggy. Hello! How are you doing, dream farts? So what makes your farts dreamy? Is going well. Disorienting in spots, though, because a new account means a new user interface. And I think I've mostly gotten it where I like it. Mostly. Okay, what are you doing over there, bees? Hang on, we've got some bees misbehaving. Oh my goodness, this is feeling wonky. Okay, swarms of bees. That makes sense. They really don't. I wish they did, but they don't. Are my bees stuck? Are my bees stuck on each other? I've never had problems with this before, but last time when I was... I don't know, these bees can be weirdly buggy. Bees. Swarm of bees. What's going on with these bees? Oh well. I may or may not be able to actually finish this quest, and that's okay. I want to go to Wizard's Folly. But first, I have a beautiful shell to interact with. If you want to meet friends in town, you can move to the same district by using the drop-down menu. Why would you tell me here, though, about changing districts? This is a weirdly timed tip. It's not wrong, it's just weirdly timed. I mean, they're making different things now. It's really wonky, right? And part of it is there's just a lot of games out there, so discovery is harder than it used to be. Because there's more games being made. A while ago, I was given an old Minotaur horn by a Canthan trader. Cantha already showing up in Priestering Ascalon. Out of it, I have fashioned a hunter's horn, which I would like to give to Aiden. I have used all my art to fashion this horn, but the final step is beyond my talents. To fully reach its potential, this horn must be bathed in the water of a healing spring. Such a spring is rumored to be located in the south part of Regent Valley. Aiden, last I heard, was visiting the fishing village south of the tower in Wizard's Folly. Sounds like fun. Hey, Dead on Stick. It's good to see ya. I mean, this is very, very true. It's been a while since I've streamed. I haven't streamed in nearly a year. I think that there could be a market for like games of sort of this graphical level. Like I think this should be relatively achievable by indies. Given that this game's nearly 20 years old. Still looks good in my opinion. Aha! There's the, what is it, reality anchor? Hey, Gwen. They've been doing some interesting stuff with the lore in Secrets of the Obscure and Guild Wars 2. Yeah, the tone and atmosphere is great. Is Frenzy worth it here? Maybe. Oh, this ornate buckler is better than my free shield. Who would have thought? I'm just gonna dump. Oh. Oh. You can't drop stuff for an account that's this new, eh? Okay, whatever. It's just a 0 gold shield. I'm just gonna throw it out. Yeah, there's definitely some areas where you can find texture stretching and things like that. And their what was the word I'm looking for? Their culling algorithm is very aggressive, so it'd be nice to have one that's less aggressive. But I'm glad we can turn all of the billboarding off and reduce the amount, that level of details coming into effect and such. That feels like it's a weird spot. Yeah, like Guild Wars 2 is very flamboyant, I guess is the word that I want. In that a lot of stuff feels very flashy. In Guild Wars 2, and there's something that I prefer about the groundedness of this game in terms of its visual presentation. I don't remember if I want skeletal limbs for anything. I don't think so. Because the main things I'm going to want are a belt pouch. And because the armor that you get from here is not that important. It's a little bit of an armor bump, but it's not significantly so. Of course, crafting stuff from Corwin's is going to be a bit challenging. But Savage is one of the armor collectors. So that's 27 AL and I'm at 25. Yeah, +2 armor is just not worth going after. Okay, thanks for dropping by, Kage. Happy Thanksgiving. Let me go look at this thing a bit more closely. Yeah, it's just a lot of the systems. It is Thanksgiving over here in the States. A lot of the systems in Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 are just very different for very practical reasons. There's a lot of caps on the number of enemies that can be hit at once with skills, for example. And that's to like reduce the power of Zergs and such. By the way, Dead on Stick, to allude to a conversation we had on Discord, I asked a teenager, and she indicated that they're still saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school here in the States. So, you know. Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, it seems really weird to me as well. How does this thing feel in scale? The Pledge of Allegiance. It's the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And it's a thing that school children recite. And it's very weird when you think about it. So this is in Guild Wars 2 now, for those who didn't know, in Secrets of the Obscure. Kind of want to compare them side by side. I love this song. This bit right here is like the leitmotif of pre-searing to me. When I think of pre-searing, I think of this bit. Welcome back, Hawk. We're just looking at the reality anchor. Nah, it's just been relocated. Guild Wars 2 spoilers, I guess. I don't know how much to talk about it or not, but... I could get some pictures of it in Guild Wars 2 and post them in my Discord. I mean, yeah, stuff is like long enough. So it's the reality anchor, it's the wizards, the Order of the Wizards or whatever they call them specifically. The Astral Ward is the individual group, but... fair. But in the most recent expansion, Secrets of the Obscure, they have the Wizard's Tower, which you can now visit, and this shows back up. So you'll get to it eventually, and then things will be explained at that point. I don't know how much you're actively playing it or not. I feel like they've done a lot in the Guild Wars 2 expansions to make enemies way more interesting to fight, which is the problem with core. And why it took me so long to be willing to get back into the game. Because the core enemies are very poorly... I want to go hunt bears. The core enemies are very poorly designed to be interesting. They're super boring to fight. And plus, a lot of the elite specializations do make professions more fun. Which I think is... cause to go back and reevaluate how the core professions work so that they can kind of catch back up. But yeah. When you're a town or outpost, you can invite people into your party by clicking on them or typing their names and then pressing the plus button. Thanks. You can also hit P to bring up the party dialogue, but I don't know if the hints account for that or not. I've been enjoying what they've been doing with Secrets of the Obscure, but we'll have to see how the whole thing kind of pans out when they fully release it. I think one of the things that was made clear during some of the Extra Life charity live streams was that ArenaNet themselves are kind of like trying to feel out what works, and they don't necessarily have... they're experimenting, right? They're doing a lot of experiments, so... Yeah, so it's weird. When Guild Wars 2 is at its most interesting to me, and this is true not of Guild Wars 2 specifically, but of any game, is when it feels like there's meaningful decisions to make. When do I do this? When do I do that? And one of the things that I very much so feel with Guild Wars 2, and this is somewhat profession dependent, is like, when do I want to use boon stripping, Condi cleanse, sunbreaks, stuff like that, where it's like, okay, I want these options available, and when do I deploy them? Can make for meaningful and interesting decisions. I feel like there's a problem with some professions where it feels like the time to use skills needs to like vary more, and some of the expansion enemies do a better job of making this a reality. I'm just going to use Retribution. It's going to get a good bit of additional damage in. And some of the professions feel way more just button mashy to me. So like Rev is one that I like more. And it's like, how are utility skills fitting in? How are weapon skills fitting in? And like one of the things that I find helps is the danger puddles that enemies do. That makes positioning way more relevant feeling. And then trying to figure out when to deploy your stun skills on enemies with like defiance bars and stuff. These bears just keep coming to me. Do a lot to make combat engaging, but when things are kind of like lacking some of those elements, or like, because things that like control enemy position, control player position can be quite relevant depending upon how they design stuff. But yeah, it can be very hit or miss, and I definitely feel like I play some professions and it feels like, oh, there's not a whole lot of meaningful decisions to make. And other professions is like, oh, there are meaningful decisions to make. So it's all about like, when does a decision feel meaningful versus when am I just doing I don't know. The phrase a damage rotation or a rotation is very like gross to me. Yeah, that's the thing, is I've didn't play Guild Wars 2. Like when I played Guild Wars 2 when it initially came out, I was engaged with it, and then after a while I realized I was just playing it because I felt like I had some sort of duty to play it or whatever. It wasn't because I was having fun playing it, so I stopped playing it. And I feel like the expansions have done a lot to, particularly, like I came back from Heart of Thorns a little bit, but Heart of Thorns I think was tuned a bit too difficult at the time. But I finally decided during some of the sales over the summer to give Path of Fire and End of Dragons a try, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually having fun with these. But I think the core, the gameplay in what's called core Tyria is boring. I think those enemies are very uninteresting to fight, and mostly it's because they don't do anything that makes you, or if they do anything that makes you react, they do it so subtly that you can't really react. Yeah, increased difficulty does a lot to improve the meaningfulness of skill usage. At the same time, it's like, the challenge is, how do you have things also be accessible? And part of one of the really weird things about Guild Wars 2, as I've been playing it more and getting to understand it more, is its build system is way more complicated than Guild Wars 1's build system. Like, what I mean by that is, like, Guild Wars 1's build system is almost entirely located in your 8 skills on your skill bar. Guild Wars 2, you have to worry about all of your equipment slots, as well as, like, okay, what attributes are you going for? What runes are you using? What sigils are you using? You have to worry about your weapons, what your utility skills are going to be, what your traits are going to be. And you have, like, decisions of which trait lines to use, and then within each trait line you have decisions among a bunch of different things. Yeah, it's like Guild Wars 1 is, you have some minor decisions about runes. I agree with that, Fjord. I like that as well. Yeah, exactly. Guild Wars, like, no single system in Guild Wars 2 is that complicated, but there's just so many of them that the interplay actually ends up becoming quite onerous. And there's just so many moving parts that you have to keep track of in Guild Wars 2. But I mean, it's because they tried to move stuff away from the build challenges of Guild Wars 1. And I think it is harder in Guild Wars 2 to make an objectively like non-functional build compared to Guild Wars 1. But yeah, it does smother you with systems. Oh, yeah, stacking versus non-stacking, for sure. Take that, brutal mauling. Thanks, Gwen, for the heal. I don't know, I'm going to use Symbol of Wrath here. Well, see, it's more accurate to say that stacking stacks with non-stacking, but... Oh, yeah, Path of Exile. That is a game that I would not have been able to figure out how to get into or play were it not for the fact that I streamed it. But because I had a chat to explain its mechanics to me, I was able to learn it. But that game, talk about a game that's really complicated. I also don't... Path of Exile is one of those games that's weird to me too, in that, like, it's a game designed around optimizing the systems, but I think it's more interesting in the middle ground, where, like, you're partially optimized but not fully optimized. So there's this weird thing with that too. I've been thinking about playing Path of Exile again just a little bit, but... Okay, maybe I didn't need to aggro the whole area. Did we think about that? This is the true heart of the game. You're turning our parties. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, the thing is, Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 have their complexity in different spots, is a big part of it. Okay, that's not going to matter a whole lot, so I'll worry about that next zone. I'm getting a lot of bows. It's a longbow and a flatbow. Like, the Guild Wars 1 skill system is significantly more complicated than the Guild Wars 2 skill system, but the actual process of making a build has more bits that you're worrying about figuring out and optimizing in Guild Wars 2. And Guild Wars 2 is more of an optimization puzzle than Guild Wars 1, I feel like. But, like, Guild Wars 1 is really complicated in a different set of ways. I don't know, it's interesting to think about. Like, where are you going to put your complexity? Because complexity is what enables depth, but it also creates a barrier of entry because people have to learn how to work within that complexity. And that's always going to be a challenge. Like, you have to make it clear that it's fun to master the complexity and have a path for doing that. That's not something that's going to be challenging for something like Magic the Gathering, for example. Whenever you find new skills with this role-playing character, you'll unlock those skills for use with any PvP characters you create on this account. I don't intend to, but thanks. And, like, part of the weird thing with Guild Wars 1 is that you don't have to know all of the skills, because not all of them are ones you want to use, but... Yeah. Like, you're going to be able to do a better job in Guild Wars 1 the more skills you know. These bears really don't want to drop their pelts. Oh, man. I miss GVG, though. But yeah, it could get really gnarly. especially when Hexway and pressure builds were really popular. The correct answer is what? Purge Signet. Lose 120 energy, but cleanse yourself of everything. Why do I have 20 effects? Can I cast? Do I have to move? If I heal myself, is it better than not casting? Yeah, super complicated and messy. How many flowers do I have? 2? I should be giving those to Gwen. I need worn belts for some collectible. It's weird because I think Frenzy could theoretically improve my retribution damage. Hey, Gwen. Yes, have a flower. Have a flower. Yeah, something like it's really complicated. Like, that's the thing, is like high-end PvP could get super complex. I would love to have seen what could have become of PvP, of like GVG in particular. With Guild Wars 1 if it had been released with more of the like esports era that we're in now. But well, I've managed to make my way all the way to Green Hills County. Not one belt? Not one bear has dropped its pelt. Portmanteaued that into an actual word. I love this little back entrance into Green Hills County. Yeah, the minimum 60 armor on it, on cracked armor, I think is what's the phrase I want to use for it? Tea sales. Oh no. Hawk, how much tea are you going to have to order? But yeah, I feel like the minimum 60 was, I don't know. That is not Bane Signet. That was worse than a feeling. I feel like it would have been better not to... it's probably a little bit of both, huh? So Infuse was an important GVG build. Infuse was... Infuse Health is a monk spell, healing prayer spell, with quarter-second cast time, no recharge, 10 energy. Sacrifice half of your current HP and heal target ally for, I don't know, 120, 130% of the amount of health you lost. It was really important anti-spike tech because of the quarter-second cast time. It's the fastest casting healing prayers outside of like Glimmer of Light or whatever. So it was really important to get health back up in response to spikes, especially since it was a huge heal. So it was a way of effectively transferring your health to an ally. Yeah, it was really important against Blood Spike because Blood Spike went through all prop magic until they finally gave up and made prop magic work against Lifesteal. Yeah, Offering of Blood, Boon Prot. I love Boon Prot. A Boon Prot base is probably my favorite monk bar, like, sort of default. I also remember Boon Prot with Contemplation of Purity and Mantra of Recall. Yeah, exactly. Good times. Good times. Oh, we got some stuff to identify. I want to hang on to this unnatural seed because I can get a plant fiber out of it once I start salvaging stuff. Knockdown Hammer Warrior in the rank 1 guild back in the day. They used to chase the Infused Monk all day. Oh, that's interesting. Was Jat. Because I remember the Last Pride Evil and War Machine being... Divine Boon used to affect stuff. Or used to affect healing prayers back in the day. But those guilds were huge competitors. I miss those days. That was very exciting. Where are you, Gwen? I got another flower for you. You're my favorite person after Mommy. I think I'll give you my most favorite thing in the whole world. Thank you for the tapestry shred. I will keep it and treasure it for some large number of hours. It was definitely a big deal. Yeah. I mean, Word of Healing has gotten better over the years, right, as they update things. And now there's the whole Smiter's Boon joke. Greetings, youngster. I am Duke Baradin. I train young warriors in the art of hammer mastery. There is nothing that drives a point home like a hammer's mighty blow. Don't you agree? What brings you here? And hammer mastery, in fact. Yeah, I don't think Izzy ever figured out what he wanted to do with it. I'll be frank. As time has gone on, and I've learned more about like game design and balancing and stuff, I have grown more skeptical of Izzy's ability to balance the game. I remember Ensign had a huge thread on Guild Wars Guru back in the day, just talking about like warrior damage versus elementalist damage, and like the difference between like axe auto attacks and spamming flare. An Etten called Agnar the Foot has been causing trouble in my vineyard. I could send my guards to deal with him, but if you can defeat him in one-on-one combat, I think it will send a stronger message to the giants that I am not to be toyed with. The trick is with a hill giant is to watch for his rage skill and interrupt it. I can give you the hammer bash skill to knock him down when he tries it, and even loan you one of my hammers if you need it, but it will be up to you to time it right and defeat him. Okay. Let's get some hammer mastery. Oh man, skill unlocks. I'm going to do these separately. I've often done them overlapping, but I kind of want to see them separately. Oh, it's teaching me about weapon-specific skills. The problem is, as I've looked back on it, I think Izzy had the wrong framework for balancing, because you need to balance Guild Wars 1 like a card game, like a TCG, like Magic or whatever, and you need that sort of experience. Invest in tactics just for healing Signet. Yeah. Okay, let's see how I can do against Agnar the Foot. Oh, yes. Lion's... I want to say it's Lion's Strength. I know the skill you're talking about. Well, I didn't really need... Ooh, that is a much spicier axe than this axe. Do you give me another starter hammer? Starter hammer is objectively worse. Oh, right. You cannot drop account, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's just delete the starter hammer. Better axe. Yeah, Lion's Comfort, that's it. No, that's Signet of Strength, right? I don't think Lion's Strength is a skill. And yeah, I love the Guild Wars 1 soundtrack so much. How do I make my chat not weirdly? Not saying it's paused. Oh, whatever. Maybe when somebody says something, I'll automatically move. I know. Losing your encyclopedic knowledge of Guild Wars 1 skills. Well, the thing that I find isn't that I don't remember the skill, it's that I remember the effect but not the name. It's that happens with words, like ideas sometimes, where I'm like, I know that there's a word for this idea and I don't remember what the word is offhand. You defeated Agnar, then? Well, not bad for a beginner. You can keep the hammer for certain, and I expect I won't hear much about Agnar anymore around here. I do, however, expect to hear much more about you. It is a tough world out there for warriors to conquer. Thank you, Duke Barradin. Yeah, every spell 55 HP monk. I don't know if it had. I know the skill you're thinking of. I don't remember if it caused you to lose energy or not. It was a stronger version of Retribution, and you could maintain it. But I don't remember what the details were of how it functioned back in the day. They call me Little Tom. Yeah, they do. I'm the axe trainer in these parts. Not to brag, but I'm the best there is. The fastest, too. What would you like to talk about today? The vineyard problem. There's trouble in the Duke's vineyard. Oh, there is. Okay. There's trouble in the Duke's vineyard. Large aloe seeds, nasty things running amok. Take care of it, will yer? I'd be grateful, and the Duke would as well. I'd warrant. No problem. I'm on my way. Yes, give me Cyclone Axe. Yeah. Oh, man. That one's brutal now. Because, yeah, Life Sheath used to be great for that. Now it's just terrible because you hit it and it's gone. Yeah, it's not... It has lost an element of accuracy, shall we say. I don't need the starter axe. It is hot garbage. Yeah. Yeah, they've made LDOA a lot easier than it used to be. Oops, hit the wrong button. Tip, you can get a belt pouch to expand your inventory from a collector just outside of wherever. You have skills that require adrenaline to use. You gain adrenaline every time you hit a foe in combat or take damage, and your adrenaline skills will start darkened and fully light up when they are ready to be used in combat. Yes, they will. Yeah, good old death leveling. Yep, thanks for dropping by, Salty Grease. It's been nice to be back. It is amazing that death leveling is just a thing that comes out of the systems. I like games where like things are mechanically consistent all around. That's something that I like about Guild Wars 1. That's something I like about the Pokemon series. It exists to a pretty decent extent in like the Souls games as well. And I like that sort of stuff. Good old rocket jumping. Frankly, that's one of the things that's so cool about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is you make a bunch of systems that then can interact with each other, and boom, you have stuff coming out of that. It's really neat. I thank you kindly for getting rid of them mallow seeds. That's a load off my mind. You're welcome. Death leveling on your 56k modem. Whew. Okay, let's see. I need to go do the Grawl invasion. Yeah. Let's go from Ascalon City. I don't know why that chat thing kept showing up. Hey Sandra, Alec, tell me about your brother. I'm sorry to bother you, but I've heard some impressive things about you, and I think only someone with your skill and bravery can help me with my problem. I think my brother Orion has fallen in with the Royalists. He's not wicked, just reckless and impulsive. Checked in 2 months, your monk turns 18. Yeah, I know the sort of feel you're going through. When Sir Titus expelled him from the academy, he became embittered towards the army, but I don't think he realizes how serious this is. I don't want him to throw his life away for foolish pride. Do you think you could find him and tell him what I said, and perhaps convince him to come home? I don't know exactly where he is, but I imagine Relina, Stormbringer, and Foible's Fair might. Ryan was always trying to impress her. He might have told her something. That's nice. I remember back in the day visiting friends and trying to figure out setting up a LAN to do StarCraft together with. Yeah, a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere in that range. Guess a year and a half more like. Half a year to the 19th, another year to the 20th. It's wild. Hello, good citizen. I'm Baron Egan, and you appear to be in need of assistance. What is it I can help you with? The Devourer Cave southwest of town has always been a source of danger to the people of Lakeside County, but they have learned to be vigilant and to defend themselves from the beasts. Unfortunately, I've been hearing recently of a new sort of devourer with a poisonous sting. I'd like you to find one of these creatures, kill it, and take its poisonous stinger to Brother Menlo in Ashford Abbey. I also hope that they do something for the 20th. Not all of them need buffs. Like, a lot of them are a solution in search of a problem. But yeah, I agree, Dead on Stick. The like Heroic Refrain is powerful, but has an absolutely atrocious play pattern. 7 weapon stance is interesting. Weapons of 3 Forges is fun, but not good. Vow of Revolution doesn't really have a place. Like, the problem is, it's just kind of like the lazy, yeah, Mesmer is super OP. The Vow of Revolution doesn't really enable anything that the Wind Prayers, oh, I'm blanking on the name now, but you know, the one that gives you energy on hit basically does that better. It's just Vow of Revolution is more convenient-ish. Yeah, Mesmer... So Mesmer, for a long time in PvE, had the problem that most of its stuff was single target, so it was kind of just trash in PvE. And then they gave it the recharge buff. And it got AoE stuff and it just became overpowered. Part of the problem, too, is just like... all of its stuff is armor ignoring. So because all of Mesmer's damage is armor ignoring, it's just more consistent and reliable than anything else. Yeah, I don't think ArenaNet knows how to make an Elementalist, TBH. Grim news from Devona and Ashford. The clan of Grawl has swept north from the woods and into Lakeside County. If they're not stopped, the village will surely be destroyed. Someone must fight these creatures and protect the people of Ashford. Coordinate your efforts with Devona. Yeah. Oh, hey, Haversdan. If you wish to advance your skills as a warrior, you should study under Warmaster Grast in Green Hills County. If you follow the road northwest from town and pay attention to the signs, you shouldn't have any trouble finding Green Hills County. Grass will be near the statue of Balthazar. Yeah, the problem is that they've kept trying to make Elementalist about doing all elements at the same time, or at least multiple elements at the same time. Pro tip, you can talk to Lady Althea. A gift for Althea. Hail and hello. How can this humble Mesmer help you? What's this? Does Rurik think I care one whit what gift he gives me? What matters is that a gift comes from the heart. That he choose it himself is all I ask. You can put an end to this nonsense at once. I'll have a talk with Osric and Rurik myself. I had no idea until recently that this dialogue was in the game. Oh, Searing Flames was a huge thing. So there's your little easily missed thing for the day. Is Althea having her say on that whole thing. Yeah, probably not for GVG. The thing is, Air gave you run speed buffs, and a lot of the time what you were doing with Ellie is you were flag running. I appreciate it, Sir Bojangles. I'm going to do Tauren a lot later. I have a personal favor to ask of you. A good friend of mine has gone missing north of the wall. He's a ranger by the name of Ben Wolfson. He was on a scouting mission and was separated from his outfit when they came under attack from a char patrol near Picken Square. Ben's a survivor. I feel certain he's still alive, and I'd go after him if I could, but I have orders to remain here. I cannot even leave my post long enough to open the gate for you. To open it past through, you'll need a companion. That's no longer true. I know it's a lot to ask, but if you could go north and look for him, I'd be in your debt. Like, the problem is cross-element synergies need to be something where you're happy to be running around 8 to 11 attributes on the second element. Yeah, Obby Flame Spike was absolutely a thing. Because his armor ignoring damage in part. And would hit really hard. But yeah, it was a I don't know. I feel like, because I feel this in Guild Wars 2 as well, where it's like each element is having a different thing that it's trying to do. So like in Guild Wars 2, water is healing, for example, and fire is more of the raw damage, and air is more spiky and stuff. Single target but higher damage. And it just doesn't. It creates something that's chaotic, and I don't feel it works the way that they want it to, in my opinion. Well, you passed the first warrior's test, but that's not exactly a great measure of your skills, is it? I'll be teaching you a few more advanced techniques, and then you might want to go see if you can find trainers who can teach you other skills. I should warn you that there's trouble on the road. A group of Grawl invaders have camped out not far from here, and have been harassing travelers. If you'd like, I can teach you a thing or two to help you drive them off. I'll even lend you a sword if you need one. Unlocking Sever Artery and Gash. I'm not going to use them right now, though. I want to use Axe. I vaguely recall Ether Prism having been reworked into something that's overpowered, but I don't remember the details. Hail, apprentice. I am Grasden, a trainer in the art of protection prayers. It's a different kind of healing. We protectors use skills that help to prevent damage rather than restore health. What brings you here? I need you to escort Farrah Capo on a mission to capture the outlaw Elaine. Use the protection prayers I've taught you to keep Farrah alive, and she'll do the heavy lifting. I'm counting on you. Oh, Shielding Hands is going to be better here. No, it's not. They're both terrible. Okay, let's just do that. Okay, but that's the other direction. I need to kill these Grawl invaders that are up the road. Ah, that's right. That is quite potent. What am I looking for? Quest log. I don't know why my quest log's all the way over there. That's what I want. Oh, man. So beautiful. I love it. Oh. Yeah. Yep. But it works. I will say, I think lighting systems are probably... Lighting systems and physics sims are probably the biggest areas for, like, improvement in terms of graphical fidelity. But you get a lot with your lighting out of your lighting model, or, like, it has a big impact on a lot of that stuff. Where's the other Grawl invaders? Oh, there's one. Plus 14, yeah, that counts for a lot. Well, you certainly can, Hawk. You certainly can. Interesting. I mean, you can. It'd cost you less than $15. Ra and I have been doing, in Spud Club, we've been doing a playthrough. We're in the middle of Nightfall now. Ah, it's really the only good Grawl is a dead Grawl, I say. I mean, the main reason to get a new account is to get that, like, unlocking everything experience. Plus, it's a much cheaper way to get character slots. After you enter the academy, some of the places you travel will have storage NPCs. So, yeah. Hello! Hi, Farrah Capo. Don't talk to me now. I'm preparing myself mentally for the battle to come. Just head over to Lakeside County. I'll meet you there. Which one was this? This one. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Try to keep